again, folks, here we are. We've added some more folks to here that I see. Looks like we got Chris, and let's see, Nevin, good to see you. So we've got some folks on here, and I'm excited just to spend, the next 50 minutes with you, kind of talking with you about being thankful, what it means. I mean, obviously, you got to figure out where you are in your life. Are you thankful for where you are? Are you glad where you are? I'll be honest with you, some of you may just need to stay where you are, but those that are on here, you're probably looking for a new opportunity, a new, something new that you could say, gosh, man, I am so grateful that I made this change here. And so that's what we're wanting to help you out with this afternoon, and just kind of talking through this. But, one of the best things that I think I've ever done for my family, and that was to be able to have an opportunity to work for myself. And one of the great things that I've loved, what Patrick and the rest of the family here has always said, when you join American Business Systems, you get an opportunity to work for yourself, but also being, again, supported by all the things that you get to do here and being supported and trained by American Business Systems. Yes, Brian, you can subscribe to the Building and Coding magazine. So reach out to the person that invited you here, and they may be able to point you in the right direction to be able to do that. Thinking about being thankful and being what you think you might be wanting to do here. I pulled up this article here from Dave Ramsey. Everybody obviously knows who Dave Ramsey is. And he says the worst thing we can do is just to get a second job. The best thing we can do is start a home-based business. That's a great opportunity. And a lot of times people are very thankful, again, of what they've been able to do by starting their own home-based business, whether it has been in this or any other types of opportunities out there. And so, folks, as you're looking at this, I would say take your time as you are looking at, is this the right business opportunity for you, for your family, and think where you might be in the next year. So is where you are right now with your current maybe job, or you want to do something different going on into the future. So again, think about where you might be a year from now, and would you be more thankful to be working for yourself than with anybody else? If we're talking about also about medical billing, is this going to be around for some time? So one of the things that you always need to look for is the growth for the future. And as you can see here, this is an article that, and again, if you'll get back with the person that invited you, we can actually get you a copy of these slide decks, of this slide deck, and with all these links in there that you can share with your family and kind of talk some of these things through. But in this particular article from Health Leaders, it says, as it is over the past several decades, healthcare spending is expected to grow on an average more rapidly than the rest of the economy. And so you can see that there is a 5.4 annual growth rate even through 2028. And so, folks, this is something that's going to be around for quite some time. If the pandemic has taught us one thing, and that is healthcare will be here for the long haul as we're going forward. And then also, what about doctors? Would they ever consider to outsource their billing? That's everybody should be asking that question here today. What is the possibility of a doctor wanting to outsource their billing? We have talked with literally hundreds of doctors because we've done that through our business owners through American Business Systems. And the best thing that most doctors have said that they've ever been able to do is get the billing outside of their office. A lot of you are thinking, well, is it more cost effective for a doctor to do billing in their office versus outsourcing it? Again, Patrick and I and some of the others here, we've actually gone through the cost of what it is to do billing in an office versus having it outsourced. And I don't think I've got any of those formulas here today, but if you'll go back and look at least the webinar before this one here, you'll probably see that. We've got that in there. But again, thinking about, will doctors ever outsource? The answer is yes. And let me share with you a little bit why that doctors want to outsource. One of the biggest reasons is because doctors currently, while they're doing billing in-house, end up having an incredible highly what's called a denied claim rate. You can see here, this is not from American Business Systems. This is from the HBMA. This is Healthcare Business Management Association. They've said several times, it is not unusual to have a 35% or higher claim rejection, which requires extensive and expensive follow-up. Now think about that, folks. If you've got 100 claims that are going out and you've got 35 of them that never get properly billed properly, which means that they never get reimbursed. That means that the doctor has seen 100 patients and only get paid on actually not 75, but 65% of those. So folks, you can see how quickly that the doctors are losing money. And I've worked with a lot of doctors independently, even in doing some consulting work for them. And what we find is that when a doctor does hire a biller in the office, when things get a little bit busier, guess what happens? They pull that biller off and help them with patients or help them fill rooms or get the next room ready. And so things kind of get backed up there. So having the billing out of the office where it doesn't get, there's no distractions that happen here. This is reason why American Business Systems has been in business as long as it has, because there are doctors still learning that it's better to outsource your billing, get that out of there, and see a lower denied claim rate. Now, let me share what our average is here at American Business Systems through our business owners here at ABS. It averages about 2 and maybe up to 3-4%. Now, obviously, that's so much better than 35%. But again, what we see is an average of about 2%, give or take a little bit, because some things happen. But folks, wouldn't you rather get 95 to 98% of your money versus 60 to 65, maybe even as high as 70, with having a biller in the office? That's one of some of the things that we're going to help you with. And we're going to show you how to do that without ever having to convince the doctor of that, because what we're going to show you how to do is what's known as a practice analysis. We're going to step you right through that. You'll step that doctor right through there. And through that, the doctor will then discover, gosh, it is expensive to have my own biller. The MGMA, which is the Medical Group Management Association of here in America, also talks, you might be losing thousands of dollars per month in unclean claims. Again, this is another part of claims that are being rejected. The measure cost, if the average cost of a rework if the average cost of a rework is $25 per claim, and 100 claims a month require rework, it costs an average of $2,500 a month to work unclean claims. So remember what I said earlier on the previous screen. It requires extensive and expensive follow-up. That's what this whole thing's about here. It's expensive to rework a claim that's already been filed. So again, folks, you're hopefully I'm helping you paint the picture here of the need that's actually out there. And then one more, that here's from the GAO, which is the U.S. Government of Accountability Office. They say, again, that denied claims can be well over 30%, 6% to over 30%. So this is just some good information that you need to know, and I'm sure you would want to know as you're trying to figure out, is medical billing something that I think I might want to do? A couple other things here. On average, again, the doctors can see 50% of those claims that were never resubmitted denied. So again, just think of all these different things. And again, a lot of this is nothing coming from American Business Systems. We put all of this up here just for you to think about, gosh, what's the real potential? Why a doctor would even want to use me in the first place? So hopefully this afternoon that I can have been able to share with you a little bit, laying that groundwork as you're trying to think, is ABS the right fit for me? Is this the right business model? Is this the right business venue for me to be in? Now, again, we got some things to think about. And I thought we would go through, as we're kind of trying to figure out, are you thankful for the work that you're doing? I wanted to kind of go through about a few questions here when you're trying to make this leap, or there's trying to make this thought, oh gosh, Is this something that I think I really need to do? So here's a couple of things I want you to think about before you think about making the leap. One, you got to be thinking about, do I have enough money to start the business? So we're going to talk about that this afternoon. And then number two is I don't have enough time to work, or I don't have enough time. I work a 40-hour job. Can I do this in a part-time way? We're going to talk about that as well. What I also hear about is my family or relatives say I shouldn't start my own business. I bet you if I had a couple of you just raise your hands, how many people on here today would have said yes? I've had some friends, I've had some relatives tell me that. Some of you may raise your hand on this one. I know nothing about sales and or marketing, and we're going to briefly chat about that a little bit. You may say to yourself, might be thinking, I might like healthcare industry, but I just have no background or training in it. Now, what am I going to do? And number 7 or 6 here, I don't know anyone who could support me once I get the business started. And finally, what if I get started and I don't like the business? So hopefully, again, within the next 40 minutes now, I'll help you kind of walk your way through this. And let's think about these things as we go through them. Because again, I remember starting my own business. These were the things I had to think about. These were some of the challenges that I was faced with. So you can see that you're not alone if these are some questions that you're having to think about. So let's talk about thought number 1. What if I don't have enough money to start this business? What do I do? Where can I go get the money? What do I need to do? Because again, folks, this business opportunity is just under $30,000. And before I even go any further than that, I don't have a slide for this, but let me just kind of share with you that the average return on investment with just one doctor can bring in enough to cover that cost and get you in the black within that first year. And what I mean by that is that once you do all of the calculation, if you're working with one doctor that's seen about 25 patients a day, open 5 days a week, these claims are about $100, $150 per, and then you're doing the billing for roughly around 6 to 7%. The money that you're going to make on that one doctor is going to roughly be between $50,000 to $60,000. So that's what I'm saying. One doctor can have your return on investment. So as you're thinking about where can I get that just under $30,000 to get started, you also need to be kind of thinking about what does my return on investment look like and how quickly can I get there. So let's first of all talk about what I would call, some of you may be thinking about loans. Do I go get a secured loan? Do I go get an unsecured loan? What is, and some of you may already have the cash ready to go. So what I suggest, and I get to talk with a banker because my oldest son is a vice president of a bank, and I've asked him. I said, "Hey, we've got people here at American Business Systems trying to get started in a business. They may want to go get a business loan. Tell me, Jeremy, what do you think about business loans?" And he says this: if you're going to start you get in here and you don't have enough money, you want to make sure that you don't go ask for a business loan or a small business loan. That's just really out of the question. You don't want to do that. You want to try to go in and ask for a personal loan. The difference between filling out the paperwork for a small business loan and one for a personal loan, upon your unsecured or maybe a little bit of secure there that you can put in there, is huge. I mean, you're talking with a small business loan, they're going to start asking you, gosh, how long have you been in this business line? How long have you been doing medical billing? If you say, I'm just trying to get started, you're probably going to get denied immediately. So as you're thinking about, gosh, what do I need to do? Listen, the personal loan is the best way to go in doing this. There are some other ways. There's some Fran Fund, which is a kind of a way that people kind of pull their money together. There's some other different ways. Listen, one of the best ways that we have found out is with credit cards. If you've got pretty good credit, better than average credit, you can get your startup with those folks with those credit cards. We've got probably well over 65 to 75% of people that get started with us do this on credit cards. So they'll split the payment up. They'll put it on a couple of 0% interest credit cards and put all that together. That has been probably the #1 way of people getting started. There's actually been articles written in Money Magazine and even with some of the other magazines that are out there about how to get started in a business. And they always say, gosh, the easiest, the quickest money to get out there is your money, which is based upon your name, which is usually going to be through credit cards at a very low or 0% interest rate. So as you're trying to start to think about that, remember, again, you could possibly get your return on investment within the first year. And you got to also know this, if you're business wise at all, you know that most people, when they start a business, don't even get a return on their investment within the first 2 years. So again, when you're starting this out, you got to be thinking a plan ahead and gosh, have a 12-month to an 18-month, maybe even a 24-month plan as you're doing this. But once you get going, once we kind of get you going through training, you're going to find out that we're getting you in front of doctors pretty quickly because, again, we know the importance of what it's going to take for you to get that money back. Again, remember, if you got any questions for me, feel free to pop in. I'm going to talk with you about thought number 2 before you make this big leap. Some of you are probably working a full-time job right now. You're thinking, man, how am I going to get this business started and do this with me trying to have to work a 40-hour week? Well, folks, I can see where the wheels are starting to turn here. If you're smart and you want to get out there, listen, people that are the busy people are the ones that are the most successful people. I have worked with a lot of people, and those people that are doing 3 or 4 or 5 different things outside of their job, these are the most successful people. So let's kind of talk about what it means. First of all, work your business at your pace. You are the only one that would ever put quotas on yourself. We do not do that. And the reason I say that, because we've had people that have come in the business, start the business, and maybe for some family reasons, they maybe had to put it on the shelf and then come back to it a little bit later. There's no re-startup fees. We're here. We'll get you started. So, don't put any undue pressure upon yourself as you're kind of starting to think about this. About half of our licensees or business owners started this business part-time. And how do they do that? Well, you've got to remember something. When is the doctor most available? Think about that real quickly. Are they available while they're working through normal business hours? No, they're seeing patients. So getting into a doctor's office to see a doctor during regular business hours is just pretty much not going to happen unless you know that doctor and they let you come in maybe during lunch. And we're going to show you how to do that. Our trainer is going to show you how to be able to do that. But some of the things you might need to do is get there before everybody gets in there, drop off some donuts, find out when they close, maybe being able to show up there, find out where they're going to some after-hour gigs. They like to network themselves. Ribbon cuttings with the Chamber of Commerce. These doctors are also looking for more business. So when you're out there trying to figure out what you're going to be able to do, I'm telling you, it can be done. We've had a lot of successful people start this business doing it part-time. Some franchises will not accept you unless you can do this full-time, and that's not here at American Business Systems. We're here to take it at what pace you want to take it at. If you want to go fast, we're going to go fast with you. If you need to take a little bit of time, we're going to take the time with you. So there's no rush, again, upon what you're going to do. We're going to also show you how to find, hire, and then also train sales reps. Now, imagine taking yourself and then dividing yourself up into 3 to 4 more people. That's what it means to look for people that are that can be sales reps. And we're not talking for you just to hire them and all of a sudden you're starting to pay them. What you're going to look for are people who are already in the business. There are salespeople who are already selling to the doctors. What you need to do is get to know those folks. Again, that's one of the things you're going to learn in the training. So folks, we're going to make sure that you see this. Again, many doctors can't see you during regular business hours anyway. We're going to teach you how to set up appointments with them before and after regular business hours. And yes, even sometimes on the weekend. So we're going to show you all about how we can do that. Again, we're almost at the bottom of the hour here. I'm kind of watching my clock here. And again, if there's any particular questions, I'll be happy to help answer some of those questions. Let's move on to number 3. Now, whenever Patrick and I were building these slide decks once before, he's had this picture in here, and I had a different picture in here. He loves this one because he says, this is the way my friends and relatives say, you shouldn't start a business. And it's usually the people who are the most lazy. Now, again, I'm not calling your friends or your relatives lazy, but let me tell you, what they're probably telling you is this: you probably don't have the credibility, because they're saying, what in the world would you ever get involved in medical billing? You've never been in medicine before. You're not a doctor. You didn't go to medical school. And what about those medical codes? Gosh, what are you going to do about all of this? Well, let me share with you what you're going to get here. We're going to show you how to build credibility, because what your friends don't know and your relatives don't know is that we're going to link you in with Dr. Vicki Rackner. Now, Dr. Rackner supports our licensees and our business owners here in several different ways. She can do everything from writing a letter to your doctor from a doctor. How would you like to have that? She also has books. She's written several books. This one here, The Myth of the Rich Doctor, they can get that one on Amazon. We can show you how to get copies of this as well. But we're also not going to just leave you out there by yourself. Part of what we do, folks, is whenever you've got a doctor who says, you know what, I might be a little bit interested. And let's say you just got out of training and you don't really know much about the codes or how to talk through with anybody. What we're going to do is get on with you, with your doctor, in a live webinar or a live demo, basically kind of like what we're doing right now. So we've got people on here right now. Hopefully you're still there. I haven't gotten any questions in, so hopefully we're still going on. The little ticker's still going on over here on my side. But folks, guess what? If you came to me or came to anybody here at ABS and said, hey, I've got a doctor, they're ready to go, man, they would like to see the system, we'll do that. That's included in your cost of being a business owner here with American Business Systems. And folks, that's not just one time. That is, folks, we'll do this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times. This is for a lifetime. We'll do these live demos as many times as you want to, because we are the experts. We've been in this business now going on 30 years. We know what we're talking about here. We've got our technology partners that will help you with every bit of the way. They know all the technology. They know the terminology. They even know which new codes are coming out, because especially with Next Gen, they're the ones that have to put that in there. So imagine you're sitting there and we're helping you sell your business. I don't know if there's ever another business opportunity or a franchise opportunity that goes to the lengths that American Business does to help you get your client, at least your first client, second client, because after that, you kind of get the rhythm of it yourself and you kind of get to know what's going on. So this is so important. So let me also mention this. If you haven't seen a live demonstration of the iClaim platform yourself, get back with the person that invited you to the webinar. They'll do one for you and they'll demonstrate how we'll do it for you while we've got your doctor on the phone. So, and that's at no cost to you right now. That's all part of your due diligence. So get your family members together and say, you know what? I know you may be a little skeptical, and skepticism is okay, but I'm going to do this demo with this company, American Business Systems. I want you to get on with me. Do you mind joining me? Now, there's a lot of things that'll do. It'll build accountability. It'll build some credibility for you, but it'll also show them that you really will not be alone. That literally right outside the gate, whenever you get through training, you could literally have a demo set up. I've got a couple of people here. Says Kevin says I'm still here. James says I'm doing a great job, so I appreciate that. It's always good to know that there's somebody out there doing this, so that's good. So again, let's put those friends and family in our pockets over here. We're going to show you how to do that. We can do that by you inviting them to come see a live webinar, or not a webinar, but a live demo with you, with the person that you're working with here at American Business Systems. I'll tell you, that's one of the best things that you can do. Number 4. All right. So again, a lot of you may not have a sales background or a marketing background. Actually, we prefer that. And I'll tell you why. we've worked with a lot of people here, and I've been with American Business Systems going on 16, 17 years. What I've been able to see is that folks that come into this business that have a sales and a marketing background, guess what they bring? They bring everything that they think they know how to do to sell and market this business. And that can be detrimental. That can actually harm the individual more than it can actually help the individual. Now, there are some smart salespeople out there. I'm not saying that all salespeople or marketing people do that. They understand that whenever they change a service or a product, they're going to have to learn something new about that product and then actually how to present that. So again, for those of you who've had no background in sales or marketing, again, we're here to help support that. Number one, we have everything that you're going to need. You're not going to need to go out there and create your own flyers, all of your marketing campaigns. Everything is all done here. So you can see everything that we have right here is all done for you. All of your marketing materials, it's highly professionally done. It's on thick, big paper. It's on glossy paper. It's not something that's going to come off of your laser jet printer or an inkjet printer, with the kind of, it's not going all the way to the edge. This is all the way to the edge. And one of the other great things that you get with this is that you get to have your name, your logo, your contact information printed directly on there. You can kind of see over here, and maybe this one right there, that one that has the magnet. There's a spot there. We can move some of this stuff around and get that on there for you. So that's part of what you're getting. You're going to look like you know what you're doing coming right out of the gate. Someone told me a long time ago, it's not who you know, it's not what you know, but it's looking like you know. That's one of these things here that you want to make sure that you have. At least it looks like you know what you're doing. Then we have some sales presentations that will just step you through. If you can just read through this is going to help you. We've got it in a flip chart, but we also have it done for those that have the electronic devices, maybe an iPad or some type of Android tablet that you want to be able to use there. We're going to show you how to, first of all, never show this as a cold call or never show this as a cold, something that you're going to sit down with a doctor. What we want you to do is take this information and tell a friend, tell that relative, say, sit down with me. I need to practice here and kind of go through this. And what you're going to find out is they're going to go, okay, this is something here. I think you're onto something. And you know what? I play golf with a doctor, and he was just telling me the other day, something's going on and he's not getting all of his money. I can't tell you the countless times that has happened for brand new people that have come to this business simply because they were not afraid to share this with somebody that they know. And that's, to me, folks, outside of the investment, the cost of what you're going to do here, you're going to have to understand there is going to be a cost and some time you're going to have to invest in getting the word out that this is what you're about. You can't just go out there and hang some shingle out there on the front of your house or put up a website as good as the websites that we have for you. You're going to have to go tell people that you're in business. And one of the ways is to share with them about your business. Ask them about their business. Talk with you about your business. That's how you're going to win at this. I mentioned to you earlier about the new thriving medical practice. And again, this is where it comes into play for you. Because on here, you're going to be able to put your name down at the very bottom. We've got a fake name down here. It says Forward by Susan Smith, CMRM, and that stands for Certified Medical Revenue Manager. When you open up the book there, then you're going to be able to have that book look like this. And then inside the book, the forward to the book is going to have the forward. Now, we've got a pre-written forward for you. Now, the great thing about it is if you want to read the forward, if you like the forward, leave the forward there. Put your contact information. If you've read the book, and hopefully you're going to get a copy of the book, maybe before you get started here, you can go get it on Amazon, but I bet you if you ask the rep that you're working with, they might even be able to get you a PDF of this and read through it. And then you might want to go ahead and add to this forward and change it up a little bit, make it who it's from you. And then put sincerely, whatever your name is, James, Bryant, Ashton, put that in there and then put your phone number, your email address, and your website all in there. Folks, we're also going to show you how to take this book and put these little tabs in there. The little tabs that you can, I've got some right here. I'll just kind of show you. So everybody look up here on there. So, you know, these little types of tabs here that you can peel off, these little Post-it type tabs here. We're going to show you how to go specifically in that book to certain pages. Put a tab there. We're going to show you how to mark it up with a highlighter. And then once you've got that, then, you know, you'll have 3, 5, 6 of those. You don't want to overload it too much, but, you know, then you're going to be able to get it to the doctor and say, you know what, I want to get to this to the doctor. Now, how are you going to get it to the doctor? That's a trick. We're going to show you how to do that, but it's fairly easy because imagine, we're going to show you how to actually how to mail that to the doctor with a priority envelope and get that. And guess what? It's going to get to the doctor 100% of the time. I'll tell you a quick story that during the pandemic, when you couldn't go see doctors, we had one of our business owners here send 3 books out, just as I told you, got 3 appointments, got 3 accounts, while during the pandemic, never saw them in their office. That's how powerful this book is. Now, not only with that, we also have some postcards and marketing campaigns that we're going to show you how to do that are real postcards. These can be all made up. You know, these aren't just, you know, cookie cutter type things. There are some things that like virtual care down at the very bottom, some other things that we can show you how to put together. And we've already got it all written. And then what we're going to do is show you how to, it's just going to drip to the doctor. It's going to just kind of get out there, kind of what's called drip marketing. So imagine that you've maybe sent the book. Now you've got some follow-up campaigns, some postcards, real postcards, not something that's going into an email that's going to get lost there. So we're going to show you how to be able to do that. Folks, all of our marketing training, as you can see here, the first part of our training, there's 10 modules that just are going to get in the guts and everything about how to do medical billing, how to use all the different systems. But everything else on the other side, you're going to spend the other half of the training simply on marketing and building your business. And you can see there in the last part of it, presentation proposals, implementation process supports, and a jump start. You're going to be actually doing a lot of different things already while you go through training. I'm going to share with you about how training is going to work here a little bit for you. And even during that training, because you're going to have a time there to evaluate, is this still the right business for me? Your trainer is going to start showing you how to start doing some jump starting, getting involved and getting some that. Felix is asking, how did I get a PDF? I'm assuming the PDF, the book. Get back with the person that invited you. Ask them to maybe send you a PDF of the New Thriving Medical Practice. And do we own the software once we become a licensee? Raymond's asking. What you're going to have, Raymond, is the access to the system. Everything is in the cloud now. I mean, everything from Microsoft Word to all the Adobe stuff. Nobody really technically owns software anymore. There's a subscription to it. And so I'm sure all of a sudden, okay, great. Now I've got a monthly fee. That monthly fee is paid by the doctor. Again, we can show you how all that is done. Again, get back with the person that invited you, especially when they're going through the demo with you. You can kind of talk a little bit about that. Again, I've already mentioned about sales reps and how you can kind of go through sales reps and how to work that out. Again, they can kind of give you some of that information. All right, let's move on to thought number 5 here. I like the healthcare industry, but I have no background in it or training in it. Again, so here's a cool thing. Prior to the pandemic, we used to bring everybody in here for a week, and absolutely, we all loved it. It was a lot of fun. We did that for, gosh, almost 10, 12 years while I was here, and then we changed it right before the pandemic to start doing some more online training because some people were having a hard time trying to get here, and we kind of saw that coming. So we developed an online training course for this, and we extended it from being 5 days now that you can do this over a few weeks. So this is really good for you because now you're going to get a one-on-one training with a trainer, a live trainer. They're going to be sitting somewhere else in the country. It's going to be on your time. These are going to be 1-hour sessions. I think maybe an hour and a half sessions at a time. Gives you plenty of time to get through all of your training. ask the questions, and at the end of each training, you're going to have homework, because when the next training comes, he or she's going to ask you, have you done that? And let's review it. What have you done? How many clients have you maybe reached out to? Do you have your list together? So there's going to be some accountability when you go through this training. Unlike how we used to have training here, it was 5 days and we just threw all the training for you and whisked you off and patted you on the bottom and let you go off, go do your work. But knowing that we're still here. So the way in which we do training now is a lot better. It's a much involved, integrated training that we have with you. Because what we're going to do, we're going to take you through every step of what it means to go through what's called the simple billing process, the medical billing process. And we're going to show you what it means to when the patient comes in and how you as the medical billing company will process those claims and how it goes through a clearinghouse and how the insurance actually gets paid and or pays back to the doctor. And then how do you get paid once the doctor gets paid? We're going to take you through all of that. So we're going to make sure that you know all of that. And again, here, everything on the left-hand side, the modules 1 through 5, we're going to teach you about how to do all of that. Kevin's asking, is there knowledge for me of other ABS competitors in my area? You know what? I'm going to talk with you about that here in just a moment. So if you don't mind hanging on to that, I'll share with you about if you've got other people in your area, what does it look like for you? And we'll kind of answer. I'll answer that question. But let me say this, because I don't want to feel like I'm not going to answer that question. Let me answer it right now, real quickly, folks. ABS has been in business for nearly 30 years. And so there may be other business owners that are within your area, and that's really okay, because a lot of those folks have clients that are not even in your area. I can tell you, I live in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. Here, we've probably got, I don't know, a good handful of business owners here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. I'm going to tell you, whenever I was in medical billing full-time, all of our clients weren't even in Dallas, wasn't even in Texas. I had one in Texas. The other ones were in Georgia and some other areas in Tennessee. So you can find out that just because you've got maybe somebody next to you doesn't mean that they're billing for doctors here locally. So it's not necessarily competition. As a matter of fact, they actually become an asset to you because they may be doing some billing for a specialty. And while they're here in town, you can be able to meet up with them for lunch and maybe talk about how to get those, how to kind of work maybe with a cardiologist or a podiatrist or a nephrologist or just a regular PCP, or, whatever you might be working with. The ABS solution is a total solution here. And what I mean by total solution here, again, that you're going to learn. And I encourage you again to go get that demo done with your person that brought you to the webinar today, because they're going to show you how iClean, EMRx, the patient portal, and the clearinghouse all work together, because all one system. Unlike a lot of medical billing systems that are out there, it's a billing system and maybe an EMR system combined together, but you have to have a third-party clearinghouse. They may have a patient portal involved in it. Ours has been like this from the very beginning. And I'll give you a quick little testimony. When the pandemic did happen, one of the advantages that we had through our system was through the patient portal. We already had telemedicine already involved in there. So we didn't even have to go searching and having our doctors try to figure out how they're going to see their patients without them coming into the practice. We were already doing telemed visits prior to the pandemic. So imagine already having that advantage. That's the advantage that ABS has, again, through the technology partners that we've had. Folks, we've got about 15 more minutes. I think we're doing okay on time, maybe even enough time to wrap up with a couple more questions here. But thought number 6 here, I don't know anyone who could advise or support me once I get the business started. We are here. And it kind of going back to the question, what about other ABS licensees being in my area? Well, folks, those people actually become part of ABS's support. All of these folks, and we're going to even show you how to reach out to some of those prior to you becoming an ABS licensee, because we want you to talk with those folks. So here's what we're going to be able to do. Sit down, talk with some of the folks that are already in the business, maybe even find out where they live. Gosh, if they're close enough, you can maybe meet them for lunch or have coffee with them. But typically, having a Zoom call with them is all that you really need. Ask them the same questions you're asking me. What did you ever have ABS people in your area? Did you have other medical billing people that you had to be in competition with? How did you overcome that competition? How did you get your first client? What mistakes did you make? If you had to do this over again, would you do it again? So we're going to give you an opportunity to talk with people that have already been in the business. So, but on top of that, American Business Systems has not only the support people here at American Business Systems, but again, all of the ABS business owners actually become part of the support, plus all the technology partners that ABS has brought to the table. Plus, we have an incredible web-based system here that is called the ABS LSS. That's for the licensee support site. This support site is always updated. It's got things that we have on there. Don't even have the time to show you even a percent of it with all the things that are on there. Plus, you get to join the ABS support only Facebook page, where there's a lot of things that are going on there, a lot of questions that are going on that you can go, gosh, you know what? Hey, I'm trying to meet up with a cardiologist and maybe he's kind of blowing me off. Does anybody else have any of these types of problems? And you put that out there on the Facebook page, talk it through. That's the community here at American Business Systems that you get to have. So you get to have that. Raymond, I'm going to leave your question up there about the softwares so I don't kind of get off track here. So I'm going to get to yours here in just a moment. Then we have monthly roundtables, and these roundtables are excellent for you to jump on. And that way you can get on these roundtables, ask questions of Tim, who's head of our support team. Sometimes I get on there. Sometimes some of our other trainers get on there. Patrick gets on there. We all kind of get on there and just say, hey, just tell us what's going on. What's going on? Is anybody having success? How did you get that success? What can we do to help support you? We're here to help support you. And then we've got the group called MIRMA. MIRMA is the group called the Medical Revenue Management Association of America. This is the entire group that all the ABS licensees are a part of. And this is the group that actually does your certification. And then on top of there's a board of directors or board of advisors that are there to help you, and they can actually help you out. This is something that you can direct your doctors to. You can say that you don't want to tell people that you're part of American Business Systems because they're going to find out that you're part of a business opportunity. So what we have is MIRMA out there, the Medical Revenue Management Association of America, who's the people that certified you. That is out there. It's called mirma.org. So you can go take a look at it out there at your leisure. And you can give that to the doctor and let them know, yeah, I'm part of this larger group. It's one of the largest medical group of medical billers in the United States. And it really is. So go check that out while we're doing that. Then plus we've got ongoing training outside of the roundtables. Ever so often we're doing updated marketing times. We get Dr. Rackner on here. We do so much. So if you come to us and say, you know what, could you do a webinar on using credentialing as marketing tools? You see that right in the middle. Yeah, we'll do that. We'll put that together because we all obviously want to make sure that you've got everything that you need in all the bucket of tricks that you can have there. Folks, we're getting to the last question here, the last kind of thought here, and I'd like to get everybody's attention on this because to me, this is one of the best things that American Business Systems offers you. I bet you if you go out there and search and research and you go look at other business opportunities, or you go out there and go look at other franchises, I feel that you're going to you won't find what I'm about to share with you right now. So what if I get started and don't like this business? Well, most typically, when you get into any type of business opportunity, it's all sales or final. Once you've signed that dotted line, boom, you're done. Then you go through their training, and even you get through their training, there's nothing you can do to get out of it. So here's what American Business System has for you. American Business Systems has a risk-free money-back guarantee. And that's over 30 days during your first 30 days once you become a licensee. Because within that 30 days, you got about 2 weeks or so that you can get through that training. So if you decide somewhere in that training or sometime within that 30 days that you just don't feel like this is the right business for you, feel free to ask for your money back. folks, that's about as risk-free as you can get. Because we know that right now it's not costing you anything more than an hour to be on these webinars. Maybe the time that it takes you to spend some time with your folks that you're talking with here at American Business Systems, maybe another hour, hour and a half to go through the live demo with the people that you're doing working with here at ABS. You may even get the book, read through the book, love the book, but you haven't invested your hard-earned money. But once you're dealing with your money, you give that money over to American Business System, you say, yes, I'm ready to get started with my training. That money sits there until you get through and you say, yes, I'm still ready to keep going. At the end of that 30 days, you know what, if there's something there, get back with the person that again, helps you through all of this. And then we will make the arrangements to do the exchange. So there's just some things that we'll have to do from a legal side. It's not really technical, but again, just kind of go back through what the money back guarantee is with the person that invited you to the webinar. But folks, to me, again, being in the business like this with ABS and the Phillips family, as long as I've been with them, researching other medical, I mean, not necessarily medical billing companies, but business opportunities or franchises out there, I don't think I've ever seen anything like this. So again, we try to make this as risk-free as possible for you. So again, as we started off today, we wanted to think about it now. Are you really thankful for the work that you're doing? Could there be something new? Could there be something better as you're thinking about this over this Thanksgiving holiday? So let's just kind of think about those as we go through it. So let me share with you maybe some next steps that I would encourage you to do. And then I'm going to get over here to Raymond's question and we'll kind of get things wrapped up here. So there are 6 steps that we kind of like to kind of walk through you on this, this last part of it. First of all, not necessarily a step, but give us a call here, 866-565-8413, or send us an email at info@absystems.com. We're available at both of them. So anytime, just give us a call. We'll arrange, make sure that we've got the appointment set up and we'll get you. If you don't know who your rep here is, again, call that number. We'll assign one to you, or if not, they'll just give it to me and I'll take you. I'll be happy to take you. I enjoy being able to talk with folks like yourself. So, but here, 866-565-8413. First step I want you to think about doing is get the research guide. We have a pretty lengthy research guide, goes into a little bit more detail than what's actually on the website. I'll show you a little bit about that. I forgot how many pages. There's several pages through here that you can kind of step through. This is a great piece that you can work with your families and the relatives. Remember the ones I was telling you about that were kind of going, I really don't know if you're really up to this. Take them through this and just share this with them. You'll see the profits there that you can possibly get into and kind of just step through, but you're going to need that. You're going to want that. Just again, you're going to need to get this obviously from the business coach that you're working with here at American Business Systems. Second thing I want you to do is go out to our YouTube page. Go to youtube.com/YABS. Again, that's youtube.com/YABS. Why do I tell you to go out there? Because for the last 16 years that I've been here, I've been on most of these webinars. And so we've done a lot of information. So everything from talking to Dr. Vicki Rackner to having interviews with some of our licensees, you know, that first one that went up there, the best business opportunity under $30,000. Then we go into some that are, you know, what's involved in marketing, why people fail, why we're telling you don't try to go and reinvent the wheel, stick with what we've got for you. There's so many different topics out there. So go out there and go check that out. You're going to gain a lot of information there. Forward some of those again to some of your friends or neighbors or some of the relatives, especially over here over the weekend. And this is a great time to do it. You know, you got some things to do. You got family over. You got, gosh, you know, Uncle Bob, Aunt Sue, whoever it might be. You know, just say, look, I'm really thinking about getting involved in a business opportunity. I really think highly of what you do. Would you sit with me on one of these recorded webinars? Just kind of sit with me and just, I'd like to hear what you, that's what I'm talking about. You don't always have to sit in front of the TV and watch something kooky out there. All right. I mentioned to you earlier about getting a reference list. Talk to some of these folks. These are real people here. Talk with them. These are people that have been there, that have made the mistakes, and also say have done some very successful things out there. They're still in the business. So get the list from your business coach that you're working with here at American Business Systems. I think I've said this once in the webinar. Do a live demo. You need to see it yourself. It's like buying a car and not ever able to drive it. Get in the car, look at it, kick the tires, take it as fast as you want to, but spend the time that you need to spend there with your business coach here, and they'll step you through that, and it'll be great for you. Get the purchase agreement. It's a 4-page purchase agreement. It talks about in there about the refund. So get that, understand it. It's not lengthy. It's not going to be throwing you off guard about some lengthy mumbo jumbo, only attorneys can understand. It's pretty straightforward. So get that, download it, get it, read it over the weekend. You got time this weekend, take some time, being kind of this typically a long weekend here. And then lastly, get your funding together. Start working on that. I've already told you how to do that. You might want to investigate some of the different credit cards that are out there to kind of fund your way. Maybe put a little bit of cash down. Maybe don't spend all of your cash, but a little bit on a credit card. If you've got some investments that you can maybe move some money around, pull it out, bring it over here, especially here towards the end of the year. There may be some advantages of taking some money out now. There's also a way you can take some money out of your home, right? Do a little bit about that. So there's all different types of ways to get this business started. Folks, this is not, you're not spending hundreds of thousands of dollars to get this business started. That's a great thing. It's a smaller investment. It's one that's usually manageable. So anything under $30,000, $35,000, you're doing pretty well. And again, knowing that you could double that in the first year with your return on investment, you're doing great there. So but your training, once you've got your funding in, you got your documents all signed, then we're going to set you up and get your training going. So that could start as soon as the first part of December. By the time you get through the month of December, kind of maybe take a little bit of time off there right before Christmas, and now you're ready to get started off the first of the year, 2023, with your new business, and being thankful that you've got something brand new to do. So folks, it's an hour into this. I told Raymond I was going to save his question towards the end. He's asking, is the software able to integrate with a system the doctor is already using, or will they have to subscribe to the ABS software? Raymond, that's a great question. Again, I'm not necessarily deferring it over to your rep that you're working with, but if you'll save that question and go through that while you're going through the watching your live demo, the ones you're going to do, you're going to find out that, yes, the doctors are going to need to go to this system. Now, obviously, the doctors may not want to do it right off the bat. That's okay. We're going to show you how to slowly get that over in there. But once we do the demo, when we do the demo for you, for your doctor, the doctor's going, hands down, let's just, I know I need to make a change. Let's do it. Kevin says, thanks, Eric. Informative. I appreciate that. I want to tell everybody, get to tell you from the Phillips family, we all tell you happy Thanksgiving, folks. It's a pleasure for us to be able to do these weekly webinars. Without you, we wouldn't have anybody to talk to. So I appreciate you being on here this afternoon. Folks, if you got any other questions, just email those over to the rep that you're working with. Remember to ask them for that PDF book of that. I'm sure they'll get you a copy of it. Again, my name's Eric. Thank you. Have a wonderful week. Have a wonderful Thanksgiving tomorrow. Have a wonderful time with your family. And we hope to see you on the Wednesday webinar for next week. If not, maybe he's joining us here for training. James, thank you. Have a happy Thanksgiving to you. Appreciate it. Y'all have a good one today, everybody. Thank you. Bye-bye.